Hey, what's up? This is Joe. In this video, I continue the journey west, riding across the Bayou, stopping in Mississippi to see a couple friends.
Hey, can I be in the video too?
And trying some outrageous Cajun delicacies as I do my best to stay dry. One of the most diabolical inventions ever created. Picking up from last week's episode, we find our man riding west, leaving the Florida Panhandle and heading to SaddleTramp's place in Mississippi. Imagine my surprise when I suddenly found myself riding across the immortal River Styx. The Chiron was a little slow to catch up with me, so I flipped him the bird and returned to the land of the living. For my money, the city of Mobile is one of the most beautiful in all the American Southeast. Bob Dylan even wrote a song about it, although it sounded like he was kind of having a bad trip. It was just outside of Biloxi that SaddleTramp caught up with me on the road.
You're moving along a heck of a lot faster than I thought you would. I was actually going to go down to the gas station, get gas, and wait for you to go by. But shoot, there he is. That's funny. Hey, is that recording?
Yeah.
Hey, amigos, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? SaddleTramp took off like a bolt, and before long, I gave up any hope of trying to catch up with them. Well, I'm awake now, trying to keep up with you.
Oh, really? We're going that fast?
I'd say we were going about 67 and a 40.
Oh, well, you probably don't know this. Maybe you do. Mississippi deputy sheriffs, it's illegal for them to run radar.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
nobody in Mississippi on county roads does the speed limit. Hardly anybody. These little 2-lane roads like this where we went down, people fly up and down them all the time. And I mean, it's been like that my whole driving life, driver's license life. This shovel head, it's a 4-speed, okay? And the way it's geared, say do 45 mile an hour, it's like 4th gear is too high and 3rd gear is too low. So on this bike, I'm always looking for the happy in between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM, and usually in 4th gear it puts me about 55, 60, and it loves it there. By nature, shovel heads don't like the lug. It's bad on the bottom ends. But that's typically why I'm not really trying to ride like a bat out of hell for no reason. It's just the default to making this motorcycle happy.
Right, right.
Because, you know, which is more expensive, a ticket or an engine rebuild?
All right, so Corey's going to give a little demonstration of how to
right.
set the points.
You're suckering me into a video. I see how this works.
On a thing. No, I'm just curious because I've never, you know, all of my stuff's been electronic, of course.
Oh, you know, if you're going to go that far with it, I'm going to pull the plugs out and make life easier. I was just going to show you something. Now I'm really going to.
Okay, let's do it the right way.
Because I'm running points on this bike, I keep an extra set of points on the bike and condenser. And that's that. So I'm going to grab the Kickstarter right here. I'm going to rotate the motor. You see that cam moving? See it moving?
Yeah.
Okay. there's a charge that's on the coil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when this cam comes around while the engine is running at the right timing, it opens those points up. See that?
Yeah.
And when that happens, I don't know the right terminology, but it basically breaks the circuit, and it causes the coil to release that energy that has in it, and it goes down the spark plug wires to the spark plug, and that's where your spark comes from. And see, where it's opened up at is on the wide lobe, which is the rear cylinder, and it rotates again, and then it opens up again to the narrow lobe. That's the front cylinder. Now, periodically, you got to go and check the gap on these things. They got to be at a certain gap. The spec for these is, with this motor here, is like 18 to 22 thousandths.
Okay.
Which is no big deal. The way you adjust these points is, what I do is I'll have it on one of these lobes, which this one is, and say if the gap isn't right, I'll undo that screw right there.
Okay.
And what's going to happen is that these are going to close, and I'll take a screwdriver, and there's a little notch up in here on the very top, and I'll use a flathead to manipulate that thing back and forth to open it up, and then I'll close it on my feeler gauge, whatever size I want. I'll leave my feeler gauge in there, and then I'll tighten that screw, and I got my gap set.
Wow, we got it going on here. Mrs. Tramp is, what was your secret to these?
Okay, so what you do first is you sear them. I don't have one pan big enough for all four. So you sear them a couple minutes on each side. That locks in the juice.
Wow.
Then once you're done with that, you put them in the pressure cooker and cook them for like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
When it cuts off, then it will have to vent, which means it slowly lets the steam out. While it's sitting and venting, that's what is causing the juice to do what it does, and it makes them super tender.
Fantastic.
So then I'm going to go ahead. I've already sauteed onions in there.
You want a piece of meat?
Oh my gosh.
All right, so we're out here.
Oh, you do that too?
Oh my gosh. All right, so there's a free crawfish boil at the Harley Davidson shop in Biloxi, so let's go check it out.
Hey, can I be in the video too?
I guess.
Hey amigos, how you doing?
Can I use your garage every once in a while when I break down?
You already did. But yeah,
So
you
yeah,
can do
you
it
can be in the
anytime.
video.
Yeah, you can be. I can be in the video. Yeah, okay.
Check, 1, 2.
Hey, babe.
Gonna tell you guys real quick, you got another thing coming.
After scarfing down a healthy sized portion of crawfish, I hung out for a bit, then got back on the road. I had a fever, and the only prescription was more cowbell. And when I say cowbell, of course I mean riding the open road. Due to massive flooding, a number of bridges were out on Highway 90, which forced me to get back on the interstate. I headed towards a spot in Mandeville, Louisiana, which I'd been using since my early days on the road, when it had been pointed out to me by SaddleTramp Scotty. All right, so I made it to Mandeville, and now I'm going to walk over here. I got a spot that I've been using periodically for years, and hopefully it's still there. All right, so it looks like my spot's over there pretty much still good. Really coming off the coattails of winter, so everything's really sparse as far as like the vegetation and stuff. So I don't really have a lot of cover. But nevertheless, I think if I sort of hike back in there a little bit and do a little bit of spring cleaning, I should be able to clear out a pretty good spot, enough out of the way. Next up, I'm gonna head to one of my favorite grocery stores, which is Rouse's Market. Hopefully they still have the individual components of like a seafood boil in the deli. Something I love to get whenever I can. Whether they've got it right now, I don't know, but anyway, I'm gonna head over there and see what they got. For something out of the grocery store, absolutely fantastic. Louisiana, absolutely one of my favorite places in all the world to come and eat. They love spice, they love delicious food. That sausage is something called coneca sausage or something. That's like part of the boil, super juicy, got a nice snap when you bite into it. You know, frankly, I've had better shrimp at Rouse's Market before, but you know, it wasn't bad. They were a little on the skimpy side, but delicious. That's my second seafood boil of the day. As I'm sitting out here, got my tent set up under this big ass tree after I knocked down that dead branch. I picked up some of this, which is a New Orleans hot sauce. So I'm about to do a little bit of Joe's hot sauce review. So this is a sauce that I picked up at Rouse's Market called Creole Handshake. Let's see, it says the spice that unites. Okay, let's see, we got distilled vinegar, pepper mash with cayenne and habanero, salt, garlic, and salt. Made in New Orleans, product of the USA. So one of the things that that stands out is it's kind of thin, so it's mostly vinegar based. Got a lot of cayenne peppers in there, obviously, which explains kind of the deep red color. But it's also kind of orangish, which might be from the habaneros. I love the label. It smells rich, a little bit fruity, tangy. A sauce with a high concentration of vinegar is pretty indicative of like a pepper sauce from this region of the United States. Sort of a Louisiana style hot sauce. This is definitely more complex than like a Tabasco or a Texas Pete or something like that. And I like that it doesn't have binders like xanthan gum, which are used to sort of thicken it up. So I'll give it a try on some of this coneca sausage. Douse it up pretty good there. It's not overbearing. Kind of think like a Louisiana hot sauce, like a Tabasco or a Texas Pete, that just tastes a lot more natural. And it's got a little bit more zip to it because of the addition of the habaneros in the pepper mash. This is fantastic. So here's a little pro tip. Basically, when I get a hot sauce bottle, a lot of the times I'll take it and pour it into one of these lightweight plastic screw bottles. Just saves a lot of weight. It's a lot less cumbersome, less likely to shatter. It's supposed to pour down rain at some point tonight, so I need to do some work on my next video. Probably head to a coffee shop up there, get a charge on my laptop, and try to get that uploaded. Probably return here, string up my tarp, and try to find kind of an elevated spot to make camp and wait out the storm. It wasn't long after sitting down for coffee that the flood warnings began pouring in. The Tchefuncte and Pearl rivers were expected to exceed their banks, and I knew from past experience that this spot would likely turn into a giant puddle by morning. After finishing my coffee, I rode to a cheap hotel in Hammond, about 30 miles west. All right, it's storming like a son of a bitch. I went ahead and broke down and got a hotel room for like 49 bucks. I was gonna try to stay in my spot, but I know from experience it's prone to flooding. And already you can see all this water just kind of pooling right there in that parking lot. As soon as the weather broke, I got back on my trusty steed and picked up I-10 through Baton Rouge, then got off on Highway 190 heading toward Krotz Springs. There's a fantastic boudin spot out on the Bayou, which I always make sure to stop at anytime I'm in the area. I've been looking forward to coming to this place ever since I decided I was heading west. This is Billy's Boudin, one of the most famous places for boudin. I've been here a lot of the times, and the line is just like, 20 people deep, almost out the door. This in particular is one of the most diabolical inventions ever created. This is something called a crawfish pistolette. You got this like seasoned crawfish filling stuffed inside of a roll, and then chicken fried. There you can see basically you got that spicy crawfish filling inside of the roll, or maybe they wrap dough around it and then cover it with batter and then fry it. And then this is something called a crawfish ball, which is basically like crawfish mixed up with rice, all kinds of Cajun spices and stuff like that, and then made into a ball and deep fried. All right, now this is a shrimp ball. Carefully break it open, like there. You can see all that seasoned rice, chopped up shrimp, everything formed into a ball and then deep fried. After that meal, I frankly didn't feel like doing much of anything other than taking a long nap. But after 2 cups of strong Southern pecan coffee, I was back at her. There's a $4 a night campground with hot showers just outside of Lake Charles, and that's where I headed. So these are the digs for the night, man. A little bit sketchy to say the least getting in here. My rear wheel started spinning. This ground is like soft and mushy. The caretaker came by and told me to park over there on the asphalt, which is absolutely fine with me because I'm afraid if I leave my bike here, it's just gonna sink into the ground. I can tell you right now, this is gonna kind of suck because I don't have a lot of tree cover out here and everything's soaking wet. And right now it's bright and sunny. So what happens when the temperature drops? Condensation, everything's gonna be soaking wet, but the gravel should be nice. Got a little bit of Billy's Boudin. Boudin basically is like kind of like a sausage. I think in this case it's got like a natural casing on it, maybe intestine or something like that. It looks natural. It's like a a mixture of rice with Cajun spices and chopped up like pork or sometimes alligator, crawfish, whatever kind of protein or meat happens to be available. But this is absolutely a staple of Louisiana Bayou cuisine. Cheers. That is so good, man. It's got some green onions in there. The spice mixture is out the frame. Got a nice crunch from the natural casing. I'm pretty sure it's natural. Man, spicy, delicious. Like I said, it's gonna take a lot of dieting, intermittent fasting, walking, push-ups to work off just today's meal. All right, this is a little bit of the crawfish boudin. Cheers. Not recommended for the faint of heart. It's got an intense, almost gamey, if you will, flavor of crawfish. I personally love it. I like really sort of funky, gamey stuff. But I think probably a more tame eater would do well to stick to the original sort of minced pork style boudin. But this is absolutely great. All right, I'm not typically big on sweets, but I picked one of these up. It's a pecan praline. I've heard a lot of people in Louisiana pronounce it that way. But then again, there are a million different accents in Louisiana. I don't know what exactly constitutes a praline, but just from looking at it, I would say you got caramelized sugar of some kind and a lot of pecans. Light, airy. I guess from the sugar and the condensed milk, it just kind of melts in your mouth. And then you got a little bit of a crunch from the pecans. Just like I thought, everything pretty much got wet, but it really wasn't too bad with that tarp. I'm not particularly feeling like traveling today, so I'm just gonna kind of take a rest day, taking it easy and making use of these awesome grills that they have here. Stay for another $4 night. So in the meantime, I'm gonna head over to downtown Lake Charles and pick up something for dinner. Lake Charles is a place I'd ridden through many times but never really explored. I saw a lot of seafood restaurants, and the people seemed friendly enough. The town itself was quaint, but rough around the edges. I picked up a discounted steak at the grocery store and headed back to my humble abode. Got this absolutely beautiful porterhouse steak on sale. Almost as penance for that Billy's Boudin adventure yesterday. I haven't really eaten anything yet. It's about 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and salt this meat and let it sit, get up to room temperature while I go gather some wood for this grill over here. Oh, that's beautiful. Excellent quality. So in addition to that porterhouse steak, also got these mushrooms. I'm just gonna drain these, treat them real simple with a little bit of salt and throw them in the pan. Ooh, that's hot. This ceramic coated pan was a total game changer, man, because it's basically non-stick, but you don't gotta worry about eating a bunch of toxic like Teflon and stuff like that. I can use a metal implement on it. They're a little pricey. This one was like 15 bucks, but worth every penny. That grill absolutely got hotter than hell. There's a little bit more char than I would like to see on there, but can't complain. So I'm gonna give these mushrooms a try while I'm waiting for that steak to cool off. Delicious. Nothing overpowering the mushrooms, no like fancy spices or anything on them. Just that little bit of salt. You can taste the fire that they were cooked over. The next morning I dismantled my camp and dried out the whole operation as best I could. After packing up, I headed into the great state of Texas. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box for anybody that might like to contribute to this project. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.